Hello and welcome to another Sprues and Brews video. Today we're looking at the new Spike 19 covering the Bretonnian team for Blood Bowl. So first of all I want to say a massive thanks to Games Workshop for sending this over a little early to check out on the site. In this video we're going to be having a look at the Spike magazine, seeing kind of what's in there, what it is, having a look at the team, and we'll also be looking at the Bretonnian team reference card pack as well, which is handy for your game of Blood Bowl. So yeah, without further ado, should we have a look at the Spike journal first? So this is a 28 page, I want to say, 32 page kind of magazine style supplement. If you've not seen a Spike journal before, these are basically kind of in the theme of a fictional in-universe fanzine for that team. So a lot of the stuff in here is written from a in-universe point of view. You know, all the rules and everything for the team are in the core rule book. So it's not as if you need to buy this in order to play the team, but you do get a lot of kind of extra lore stuff and quite a few bits of kind of gaming material in there as well. So if we open it up, it's really cool. I've really enjoyed these, you know, over the last few editions of Blood Bowl, and it's good to see that they've kind of kept the numbering system as well, because those old ones, with it being kind of predominantly in universe, they're still just as valid. So we get a lot of stuff in here covering kind of the fictional history of the team. So like in the same way that a codex or battle tome would cover the kind of the narrative and the lore and the background of an army, we get the same in here for Blood Bowl teams, but kind of written in the universe point of view. So we get some history on the Bretonnians, who, you know, went around crusading and holding wars. Once war fell out of fashion due to the discovery of Blood Bowl, they decided to settle their disputes on the gridiron rather than on horse and with lance. So that's quite a fun little thing. We have had Bretonnians in the past in the history of Blood Bowl, but I think they were very peasant heavy. This is the first time we've got a team full of knights, which is cool. We also get the kind of fictional history of all the different positionals as well, from the squire to the catcher, the thrower and the grail knight. You also get the full kind of team stat line recreated here as well, so that's handy for reference. Now we do get a spotlight on one of the fictional teams, the Brionne Barons. So this is the box art team that's on the Blood Bowl box and in the magazine at the back as well. You get their fictional history, you get their kind of like match highlights from kind of key games that they've played, so that's really fun as well. And you also get their 2404 to 2505 squad, the Brionne Barons. I wonder if that's a typo. I think that should be 2504 to 2505. But yeah, you get their team. So what this is a fully kind of fleshed out, developed, just under 2 million gold team that represents them at the peak of their career. They also get a special rule as well to represent that. Now we'll see later on in the book, we do get a fictional matchup to recreate, like a historical match, and the idea is that you use this team to represent them. Now if you're playing just like a one-off game and you do want to do a league, there's nothing to stop you from using this lineup and having that represent your team in a nice quick game, and have your opponent take their like legendary team out of their Spike journal. And that's a really nice way of maybe having a go with a developed team without having to play through a campaign to get to that point, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's really good. We also get a look at some of the alternate schemes and the alternate teams as well. So Carcassonne's how I've painted my team, because that matches my army for the old world. This is nice. It kind of gives you a flavour of different schemes that you can do. Obviously you're entirely free to make up your own teams, preferably with a funny name that, you know, reminds you of an American football team or a football team or something. So yeah, really cool to see that. Now we do get quite a bit of gaming material in here as well. So we get the Jolly Jouster Cup, which is a new kind of sub-league that you can rule. if you use this instead of the standard league in the core rulebook, you get a few different rules and features and stuff in there as well. In this one, you get a couple of new inducements. So you can have Bretonnian pastries, Bretonnian damsels, who are basically like a wizard, but they've also got a spell that you pick a square, and then everyone adjacent to the square gets blown away, and the person in the square is knocked down. So that's pretty cool. So not too expensive either at 150,000 for kind of the utility of that, because you use that at the right time, that could be like game winning. So yeah, really, really fun. And then what we do get for that league as well is a chart to roll on to see which dukedom of Bretonnia the match is taking place in as well. Each of those has got different rules as well, which is really, really fun. And then like with the other Spike journals, you also get alternate weather tables and kickoff tables as well to represent games in that area. Now alongside this book, they're also releasing a Bretonnian pitch, which is like a castle courtyard with a ruined side on the reverse. And in all of these Spike journals, what they tend to do is release rules for them. I believe they're in the packaging as well, but you do get the rules kind of replicated in here as well. And the idea is that you play the first half on one side of the pitch and then flip it over and play the second half on the other side of the pitch, with the rules changing each time. What we tend to do in our leagues is everybody have their own kind of home pitch, and it means that as you're playing the league, you're playing different kind of stadiums with different rules, and that kind of, I don't know, I like that kind of thing. It kind of makes it a bit more thematic and fun as far as I'm concerned. On the sprue as well, and I haven't got any to hand sadly because I've left them in the box, but on the sprue you also get a couple of balls. And they've got different special rules as well. Now obviously you don't have to use any of this stuff, you can just use the standard stuff, but it is quite fun if you want to do a Bretonnian themed league, or like I say, have your home games on your own pitch with your own ball to make things a little bit more interesting. So they're quite fun as well. We do get some fictional interviews as well, so Dirt from the Dugout, Mindy, a halfling who's just trying to get the gossip and what's going down, and then Chat with the Rat for more kind of sports style interview with fictional players. So again, no gaming material, but from a kind of fictional point of view, these are always quite fun to have a read through. Now you also get quite a detailed kind of guide to using the Bretonnians in here as well. So this section will go through all of your different positionals, it'll talk through kind of their stats and their abilities, but then more than that, if we flip over, it'll also kind of talk through some suggested starting rosters for which players to draft when you start a league, and also which skills are worth advancing into as well. Now obviously established Blood Bowl players probably don't need this side of things, they probably know what they're doing, but for people new to the game and people who've maybe not played for a while, or it's a different team style than the one they normally play, this is really, really good for kind of figuring out how the team works, what skills you should be taking, what's worth taking in a starting lineup, and I think that's a really good thing. You also get some setup ideas as well. So a lot of times people will go wrong setting up for Blood Bowl by just sticking everything on the line, and someone will kind of wiggle past and you've got no one back. Whether you're kind of on defence or offence, you want different kind of setups on the board as well. So what this does is it talks through kind of what players should go where and why. Again, it gives new players a bit of a idea of how they operate and what to do, which is really, really good. We then get Cablevision Presents, and I can't remember seeing this in the old ones, but these are basically a fictional historical match where it will give you, obviously early in the book we got the Bretonnian kind of legendary team, and then we've also got the team that they're playing against as well, which is vampires this time. And what's really fun with this, it will give you the scenarios of that match, it will give you the two teams, it will give you kind of all the rules, and even rules on like how the stadium is, that will kind of affect the game. And each team's got 3 achievements that they're trying to accomplish during the game. So this is really cool. I think what would be really nice with this, especially if you're kind of new to Blood Bowl maybe, is set up those teams, get the kind of the players that you need, and play 2 games of Blood Bowl. So, player A plays with the Bretonnians first, then player B plays with the Bretonnians. And what you can do is see out of those 2 games, who managed to accomplish the most achievements. That's a nice different twist compared to kind of match play or league play, especially if you've just got an afternoon to play a couple of games of Blood Bowl. I think it'll be really fun. And the good thing with this as well, because they're fully developed teams with their own rules and stuff, they'll feel different than a team straight out of the box too. So I really, really like that. And then again, we get more kind of like agony ant articles and all that kind of fun in-universe stuff that works for Blood Bowl. So yeah, really, really like that box. Alongside it, we've also got the player cards as well. So these are basically the gaming contents of this. So you get the ball rules, you get the castle courtyard rules, you get kind of a reference sheet with all your skills that are on your starting ones as well. So you don't need to look through the book to see what they are. This is really, really useful because kind of looking up stuff does slow down the game. Obviously, if you have any developed skills during the match, then you know you have to remember those, but for new players, having those to hand makes life so much easier. You then get, if I dig out the ones at the back, you get 4 generic cards with all the stats and kind of rules for your positionals, but then you get a big wad of blank ones, which if you're playing a league, you can put their developing stats on there, which is really cool. And you get enough for a full team roster in here, which is really, really cool. So I think that's a really, really nice touch, and yeah, I'm looking forward to getting those on the pitch. Before we finish off, we'll have a quick look at the players as well. I have shown these off in the other video, but just in case you've not watched the full review, just wanted to have a quick look at the new players on here as well, because they are absolutely gorgeous models. And yeah, like I say, I'm going to probably play with the Tomb Kings in the league that we're doing coming up soon, but I really enjoy painting the Bretonnians. I've got a Bretonnian army for Old World, and this kind of scratched that itch without having to paint a million models, which is another really good thing about Blood Bowl. You don't necessarily need to go like all in with a million figures. You can pick up a box, especially with the new team constructions. You can pick up a box and have all the models that you need to get starting. Now you might need a couple of extra runs later on as you're playing through a league, but from like day one, getting them onto the field, you've got everything that you need. And I think that's a really, really good thing and should be kind of celebrated about in this edition of Blood Bowl. I know a few people have been grumpy about the fact that teams have got less positional than they used to in some cases, but I think it does make things easier for new players, makes it more accessible, and that's really what it's all about, accessibility, making sure everybody has a fun time and goes into with the same kind of level of enjoyment as well. So yes, that's the team. That is our look at the new Spike magazine. We do have a full video on the Tomb King Spike magazine as well. That is up on the website now, and our full review of the new edition of Blood Bowl. Over on spruesandbrews.com as well, we've got 3 articles up, one for the big box and one for each Spike journal too. And again in there, I've got some more images of the teams too. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, why not give us a like, give us a follow. Let us know, are you going to collect a Blood Bowl army? Are you going to pick up the Bretonnians? And what are your thoughts on the new edition of the game? If you are getting into the game as well, we do have an affiliate link to Element Games. Anything you get through that link, we do get a bit of a kickback, which goes towards supporting the site. But yeah, until next time, have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.